You ready? Oh, okay. Call the meeting to order, Emergency Medical Services Advisory Board, June 12th, 2024. Did everybody have a chance to read the minutes dated March 20th, 2024? If so, are there any corrections or additions? If not, make a motion to approve the minutes dated March 20th, 2024. Father Charles?
Second.
Okay, all in favor? So moved. Jack?
Good afternoon. So I'll start with going over the call volume. Currently, we've had a little change in our dispatch system. So we had a little bit of an anomaly with paging, but for the most part, we've had 132 EMS alarms, not including fire calls that we've stood by on to date. Historically, the June 11th timeframe, 12th, is usually 105 in 23, 103 in 22, and it looks like 108 in 21. So we're a little bit more than average going into the season, but we've seen that so far in the last quarter as well. The interesting thing that I'm kind of monitoring is, I mentioned last quarter that we've instituted a standby on-call shift for the members to actually assign or sign a shift. If they sign up for a shift, they're guaranteeing that they'll respond to a call during that time frame. So we know at the very minimum who's available at any given time, and others can see that. You know, it does help if you're trying to get something accomplished. Let's say your kid's graduating in a few weeks, you can step back a little bit, knowing that there are other members covering. So I think it has some value to doing the shift program. Little statistical analysis of it. It looks like we're 193 days into the year, and the members have in that time frame have signed up for 345 shifts, which is about 1,704 hours that people have committed to be on call to respond. So I think that's pretty impressive, and we'll see how that goes moving forward. Any questions on that so far? Okay. Membership, just to report, we've had a little change. We have 2 members out on medical incidents for an extended period of time, so they had to take a leave. And we've had 2 people just recently request a leave of absence based mainly on logistics. One member has moved off island. She continues to work here, so she's going to evaluate if she can still commit to being a member. But in the interim, she's taken a leave. We do have 2 new prospects that we're currently working on that have applied for membership. So it's kind of a handy thing that even though we seem to be losing a couple people here and there, we are picking up almost at the same rate. One of the things I thank the membership for, we pushed hard and heavy during the annual EMS week in May, and twofold purpose of that. We were out in the community at different locations, more of a show and tell, let people become acclimated with our system, and really it's for recruitment and retention. We're trying to recruit new people, and we're trying to keep the current membership viable. Part of that retention, you know, is the pat on the back and the support that we get from the community. That's why that was a component in that time frame. We've all successfully completed, probably the first time in a while that we've gotten everyone done on EVOC, our emergency vehicle operations course. We hired a company that actually came to Shelter Island, and not just classroom, but the members each operated the ambulance with an instructor and an evaluator through an obstacle course, through a series of parking and backing. and I'm happy to report we were 100% successful. Everyone passed that course. We also completed the annual workplace and sexual harassment training that's required. We did the state program this year. Couple other things that we've participated in this quarter: the Memorial Day Parade, which is always an honor to be part of. The Shelter Island School Job Fair, we had set up a table and a crew for that. Like I mentioned earlier, the National EMS Week, we had different spots in the community, the Eccentric Bagel, IGA up in the Heights, to expose ourselves to the community. Coming up Saturday, we'll be standing by in full force for the 10K race. We deploy all our assets in the field, strategically placed, and if there's a call in the community, we'll already have a staffed ambulance in different locations, which will be dispatched by location. So it's been successful for 25 years or more, and Dr. Frank puts out a medical protocol, which is very unique for the day. We deviate from normal protocol. We deviate all 911 calls to the ambulances that are already in the field. So it's quite a protocol and package for the day, but it works and it's been successful. So we'll do that again this year. And the other thing that I know we have to stand by would be for the fireworks, which will be in July. Any questions on that? Okay. I probably mentioned the last quarter that we had purchased some fire radios. We had no communications with the fire department, which seemed a little silly. So it was time to get that. So all of our ambulances and officers, the chiefs at least, are equipped with UHF frequency radios that the fire department operates on. Not only Shelter Island, but that connects us to every fire department on the North Fork, not the South Fork, which would be important in instances of mutual aid, or if we, either way, whether they come to assist us or we go to assist off island, at least we'll be able to communicate, which is critical. So that's been accomplished. We continue. I heard it was just canceled for not enough people on the fire side, but we continue to go to Yaphank with the fire department. That's an important thing for us to be plugged into their training and to stand by while they're there. We will continue to do that. The ferry radio project that we've been working on for several months is going to be completed shortly. As soon as our second repeater goes up on the tower for ambulance communications, we're going to plug the ferry companies into that system so we can actually talk directly with the boats and not rely on, like marine frequency antiquated systems to do that. So we'll have direct line of communications with the ferry.
Jack,
Yes.
was consideration ever given to having mutual aid with Sag Harbor?
It is, but that's another, that they operate on the 800 radio system, which we already have. So we have communications with our immediate neighbors to the south. And we are going to work on getting those. It's a little bit of political control, I guess is the polite way to say it. The south side is mainly operating through East Hampton Town, their 800 radio system, which is separate and apart from the county 800 system. Our radios have been programmed to the county system, and we have to get permission to put that other side of it in. So it's just, it's going to happen, but we can communicate with Sag Harbor currently, and we should be able to blow that out through the whole North and South Fork. I'm hoping before summer really gets up and running, although we've already seemed to have started. Yeah, so we do have the equipment. It's just a matter of getting it together. Just moving on, I'm not sure if I reported, Peter, on the building expansion project last quarter. We put it out to bid. The town allocated $90,000 for a capital project, which is what we were assuming it was going to be. I think the people that put that together did not realize it had to be a prevailing wage. And that we had put it out to bid. We received a couple bid packages on that. Quotes were more than double what we had allocated in capital. So we'll be asking the town to put more money into that next year. I don't know how else to accomplish it. You know, it's more than double with the prevailing wage rate applied.
I would think so, 90,000, that's nothing, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's not a big project. Don't forget, we're only bringing the building out like three or 4 feet. No change in the roof line, just some new garage doors, which, you know, we might have to consider doing now because we have, you know, some things that need repair that we were hoping to just swap out in the new. But yeah, now, so yeah, 90,000 is what we allocated, and it won't cover it. So we'll have to look at that for next year. The membership had a great idea of capitalizing on social media with the agency. We feel that it's a good, again, recruitment and retention component. The retention side of it is it makes or gives members pride and, you know, exposes the community to what we do, where, you know, everything will be filtered through me. Because we have to screen to make sure that we're not exposing any patients, any identification of people. But like the EVOC course, we put up online on social media, and I think it's a good feedback. The members have been getting feedback from the community, which helps retain, you know, gives you a sense of value and worth in what you're doing. And it also does recruit. So it's kind of the way the world operates. The town has social media, all layers of government. It's the way of getting things out. So we're trying to capitalize on that. I think it'll be very good. Currently, we decided to stay on. We have a business account on Facebook, which doesn't really allow for communicating. We're putting stuff out. We're not looking to dialogue. We're not looking for comments. Just putting out what the agency does, and some coverage on that and on Instagram. So those are the two formats that we're utilizing right now.
Jack, you may want to consider putting on that computer, let's say, asking a member of the agency why they became initially interested. And then, you know, 4, 5, 6 sentences, even with a small photograph, particularly the newer, the younger members. What prompted me? Who prompted me to want to be interested in something like this? That might be another form of retention and recruitment.
Father, it's a great idea. It's one of the things I was calling it spotlighting. Like we could spotlight or highlight a person or a member monthly, and like you said, it's a great idea. Little plugs on, you know, what it feels like to be a member, why they do it, and that might inspire others to join. So
But specifically, who might have influenced the member to join? Who was the person who influenced them to join? I think that could be very helpful.
Yep, great point. Thank you.
Jones.
I'm sorry?
Ben Jones. Mark said Ben Jones.
So just a couple more things, and then I'll be done with my list of updates. The agency, you probably don't know, but we have a very stringent inventory and control of supplies. So our vehicles have to be checked, like in the summer now, weekly, to make sure that we have all the current supplies. Not only do we have to have it for calls, but we're required to, being state certified. We have to have so many Band-Aids, so many ice packs. It's all regulated and controlled. It's a hefty process for the members to do. What we've done is we've purchased some software that's automated that. So now, rather than the members filling out volumes of paperwork and making lists and writing things down, they do a inventory or a checklist that's electronically driven on a computer, on the tablets that we have in the trucks. And that programming will generate a list to me of what's deficient, what's needed to order, and it actually generates an order list. We have the same setup that we for the trucks. So the vehicles, just like any fleet, you know, you need to have an annual program for annual maintenance to comply with recommendations from the manufacturer. You know, we don't want to neglect it. It's emergency equipment. It's a lot of money, and we want to keep it up in good shape. It has to run. You know, there's just no way around it. So we have inventory and checklists for those, for vehicle maintenance. And again, any discrepancies or anything that it identifies as deficient sends the agency an email and we react to that. So that's been very successful. We just started that last month, but it seems that the members are liking it. Receiving hospital policy. So from time to time, and I'm sure everybody's heard this or at least some questions about it, you know, the community, people in the community or people that may not understand an emergency ambulance operation. The question comes up, we have a policy for the receiving hospital, you know, and it's not black and white. There's a lot of components that go into it. There is an algorithm of items that ultimately decide where people go. So in a nutshell, I just want to share with you, in case somebody in the public asks you, it's generally simple to understand, is that current EMS policy dictates that we transport people to the nearest appropriate facility, no longer the closest hospital. So it's not about logistics, it's about most appropriate. So if you're having a stroke or some type of identified cardiac issue, Southampton is that most appropriate hospital. Okay. If you break your ankle, or typical or regular emergency department type things, the emergency department at Eastern Long Island Hospital is where we're going to transport that patient. And there's a whole litany of other things. If you have a preference, we try to accommodate that. But part of our deciding factor is, do we have enough people available to go on the next call? If, you know, the other day we actually had 2, or Mark might tell me 3 ambulances were out at one given time, that's not the time for us to be going 2 hours extra. It's unfortunate, but we have everybody else to be concerned about, and we have to get assets back here. So there's a lot in the formula, but generally speaking, we're bringing people to the most appropriate, number one. And number two, we're trying to accommodate preferences, family choices, patients, doctor, location. We really do try to accommodate that. It's not always what we can accommodate. You know, we have to look at the big picture. So I did meet with Dr. Potter and Mark to kind of go over it. Dr. Potter had some questions about things, and I think we left the meeting all feeling on the same page. And you know, at the end of the day, we're all trying to do the best for the patient, and we'll continue to do that. So that was something that happened, which was good. We've had 2 of our drivers sign up for an EMT program. So over the course of the next 6 months or so, we'll have 2 members getting certified on completion. And the last and one of the best things of the quarter was the annual dinner. I can't thank the people enough on the committee, Peter, Anne Marie, Christina, and Rachel specifically, those 4 for getting it accomplished. We had an extremely great night. I thought it stuck out from the other dinners. It just, you know, sitting at a different place, having a great meal, and everyone there, I think, was in good spirits. We missed you, Father, but next time.
Thank you, Jack.
All right, that's all I have, unless anyone has any questions.
No?
No question.
No. Okay, thank you, Jack. Ambulance Foundation updates, Mark?
The alley went out third week in May. And we have 2 or 3 people processing envelopes. That's how fast they're coming in.
Wow, that's terrific.
Yeah, most of the locals, you know, they start tapping their toe the 15th and 16th of May, like, where's my letter, where's my letter? So, yeah, we put people in the community go, hey, you didn't mail it yet. So they're coming in fast and furious. And like I said, we have 2 or 3 people working on that. Anne Marie is lead on that. And everything else is just, with the foundation is just, this is the time we get all our busy time, so,
Is the cricket match still happening this summer?
we haven't heard, but I'm sure since they're doing cricket in Nassau County,
That's why I brought it up. It was
Yeah.
sold out, that cricket, and the tickets were going for $400 a piece, closing down roads.
Or 2,000.
yeah.
Oh, that high too? Wow.
So we're just waiting to hear from them. They need to pick a date and time, and then we just set up and we do what we need to do. And thanking Salt for helping us with the venue and
Yeah.
the food and things.
It's a good venue. The field there is perfect.
Yeah, it's awesome, so.
Yeah.
That's all I have, I don't have anything else.
Okay. Jack already reported on the foundation dinner. It was a great event. Hopefully I'd like to do it back there again next year. I mean, even the rain, it was pouring rain, it was still wonderful.
Yeah.
Any old business? Any new business? Okay, I think this is a short one tonight. Make a motion to close the meeting at 4:52. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Jack.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.